Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Thursday, the 4th of June. July went fast, didn't it? So, what are we going to talk about today? We'll talk about how you climb those mountains. Seems like mountains, right? A little bit at a time, and why that's so important. All right, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Thursday, June 4th of 2026. I kind of equate business to like exercising, all right? If you're going to decide to run the 4K mile or what have you, do you just get on your sneakers and your sweatpants and go ahead and just run it the first time out? No. But yet I see that so often in business. People are looking for trying to hit a home run when they should be looking at, can I get on base? And I know getting on base doesn't seem as important as the home run, but in all actuality, it's the better move, right? Business is very much the same way. You just can't jump in, both feet, all your life savings and everything else and hope for the best. And that's basically what I equate to running a 4K without even doing any training. You're just going to give it the best shot. And if it don't work, it wasn't meant to be, right? But that's not the case because it was never meant to be to start with. Whether it's running to 4K or becoming successful in business in the grand scheme of things, or hitting a home run the first time you're up to bat. So, what's the better way? The better way is conquer slowly. You know where you are. You need to take good accounting of what your skill levels are, where you're weak, where you're strong. How can I tell you guys, time is money. So if you don't have the money, you're going to have to spend the time to learn how to do certain things, right? Whether that be marketing, whether that be web development, AI can help you out a lot on that. But you have to start somewhere. And most people are honest about where they're at. Or if they are, they're not taking a really good looking at what are the important factors. Some people say everybody, you know, there's only certain people that are destined to become successful at business. No, there's only certain people that are smart enough to realize that if I want to be successful at business, it's got to be a stepping stone and a gradual climb. Most people that become successful in overnight are gone before you know it. You're like, where'd they go? They used to be here, right? Because they gave everything they had, kind of like playing the lottery, right? You might win, but the chances of winning are very small. So, where would I suggest you start? Well, take a good look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. Before you decide that you're going to start a business, you need to put together a business plan. Even if you're not going to be borrowing money from a bank, you should still download a business plan from the SBA, Small Business Association. You can do that online, print it out, and sit down and go through that step by step and write out what they're asking, the questions that you need to ask yourself, they're going to ask you, right? And that will help you define more of what you're trying to accomplish. Instead of just getting into the repair business, maybe I'm just going to get into the push more repair business. The more fine tuned, the more niche you get, the better you get, as long as everybody else isn't doing the same thing, right? If you're the only ice cream shop on the corner, you're going to get a lot of business, right? But If there's 5 shops within a quarter mile, good chances are they're going to be pulling and drawing people from your ice cream stand with their business, right? And I see this so often. I had the same thing happen to me. I call them copycatters. They take a look at somebody that is deemed successful at business and they look and they study the model, your ice cream business. Okay, you're crushing it, you're making good money. So they decide they're going to do it. So they set up an ice cream shop across from yours. What they don't realize is you were successful because there were hardly any competition and you were putting out a good product for a good price. Everybody seemed to like your product and it was reasonable enough so that parents were bringing their kids there to get their ice cream. So the copycatter sets up an identical stand across the road from you. And what they usually do is they'll come in 10 cents cheaper per item. Yeah. And start drawing the customers away from you. Then you're going to start losing business, right? But they're not going to be making big money like they think you are because now they're splitting the customer base in half. That's why I say don't look at just doing small engine repair. What part of small engine repair is not being utilized and underutilized in your area? There, there always is. I've seen businesses run on just sharpening blades, chainsaw chains, and mower blades, and do really well at it if you have a large area. I've seen others concentrate on just push mowers. The closer you get to the city, the less real estate homeowners have. So they're using a push mower versus a riding lawnmower. So you're better equipped to be able to work on push mowers, right? And if I were in an area where it was a lot of push mowers, because a push mower to me doesn't make a lot of money per unit. So you got to push a lot of units through and you got to have a fair price on it too. The other option, Amos, you mentioned it, is if you don't see the writing on the wall with the batteries coming in and learning that technology, you younger guys are going to get lost in the dirt in the fray. Because next thing you know, the push mowers and all the handhelds are going to be all battery. They are. I kind of steer clear of them because I don't think that they're there yet. The charges don't last that long. If I want to go cut wood with my chainsaw, I want to be able to run until I get tired, not until the saw gets tired. So, what other things can you look for when it comes to niche markets? This is all part of your business plan, by the way, that I'm bringing this up because the business plan is going to try to get you to focus down to the nearest point. It's grandioso to think you're going to be successful at everything because you're not. We talk about you're only as good as your last job, and that is so true whether it's in the auto industry or whether it's in the small engine repair. That if you put out shoddy work, your customer base is going to drop like flies. If you put out quality work, you will build, but it's going to be one customer at a time. It's no different than if you wanted to do a 4K run. The way you want to do that, if you broke it down in your business plan, is all right, first thing I need to do is start walking, to get into somewhat kind of shape, and then gradually work my way up to running. And then once I'm running, do like a half mile for a week. And then the next week, do a mile, maybe a half mile down, half mile back. You know what I'm saying? And gradually work your way up so that you're able to run a 4K without having the ambulance take you across the finish line. Because that's exactly what would happen to me if I decided to go do a 4K run without. I mean, I'm on the treadmill every morning, but I can tell you right now, I wouldn't be a mile out and the ambulance would have to take me the rest of the way if I wanted to finish. Business can be some of the most exciting times, and it can also be the most hair pulling, want to scream moments as well. And you need to be equipped to handle both. On the highs, don't get too high, and on the lows, keep yourself up, knowing that this is just part of business. I find the people that are longevity, they've got over 10 years of doing things right. Because after 10 years, you've run out of your own money if you're not getting enough business through the door, right? They're the ones to look at. Don't mimic them, don't copy them. Simply look at them and say, what are they doing right? And then maybe think back to other shops that were in the area that didn't last long and take a accounting of them and say, what did they do wrong? See, I learn more from my mistakes than I do from the positive things that are one offs. And I think that most people that are in the repair business are what I deem problem solvers. They're looking at a problem and they're coming up with how to resolve it. Whether it's you're looking at a push mower and let me see how do I do a diagnostic on it and find out what the root of the problem is and fix it, right? Same thing with business and same thing with your personal life. If you can look at the things that didn't go so well for you and really take a good look at it, I think you're going to find that there was one thing you screwed up on out of maybe 10. But instead of throwing the 10, really look at it and say, if I changed that one thing up, would that have gotten me a different outcome? And most times the answer is yes. Yeah, I see so many people throw out the 10 things, the 9 that were right out of the 10, all with the one bad idea. If you watch my channel very long, my videos and stuff, I always try to preach keep your debt low and your overhead low. And that way you're not carrying a lot of debt. That's the biggest thing I see with businesses that fail quickly is most businesses take 5 years to get into the blue out of the red. Okay. And what they don't realize is during that 5 years, they're not going to be making a profit. They're building. They're building a business from the ground up. Okay. Unless you're doing a franchise or something like that. But for most of us, we're building a business. So if we have a big mortgage on the building that we bought, if we have personal loans or equipment loans for all the tools and everything else to equip the shop in the front area, and then the floor planning payments of trying to fill the showroom and out front and this and that, they don't realize that it takes up to 5 years to get into the black. So you're going to be running in the red the first 4 or 5 years while you're trying to build. And if you have all that debt and all that money going out per month, you're destined to fail. A lot of times, the people trying to sell you stuff, the salesman won't tell you that. I will. I say, build yourself up for the first 5 years. At the end of 5 years, then look at, okay, buy your building on a five-year note or a 10-year note. Get your equipment over time through auctions, yard sales, what have you. You don't need top of the line to do quality work. I've done a video, a couple of them, that tools don't make a mechanic. A mechanic can use any tool. And that's so true. So you don't need the high end expensive lifts to do your lawnmowers on. You could have a cable running from your ceiling with a chain fall or something, or we had the electric winch that you can lift it right up off the air, or you can have the lawnmower jacks. You drive the front tires up on it, jack it up so that it tips it up. Those are pretty inexpensive compared to the air run or hydraulically run jacks that you set the lawnmower on the platform. You see what I'm saying? You got to use a lot of common sense. And I don't want you to penny pinch so much that you're not doing a good job. You know, places that you probably should have used some heat from the torches, to free things up, but you decided that the cost of that, I'll just sit here and try to muscle my way through it. No, throw some heat on it. That's common sense. That's what it's there for. In the comments, you guys that have your own business, does that make any sense to you? And to you guys that are looking at getting into business, does that seem reasonable? Because that's the way I would do it if I were to go and do it all over again. Keep my debt load low, get physically fit before running a 4K run, finding my niche within that market that isn't being fulfilled. Capitalize on that. Do the best job you can do every time. That will build customer base because your customers will talk about it if you're doing a great job for a fair price. On that note, you guys have a great day, a great Thursday.